everyone. For this review, we have the Super7 Deluxe or the DX Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. These are being sold through Hasbro, Hasbro Pulse, and these are basically Ultimates, Super7 Ultimates versions that are meant to homage the original toys from 1991, 92. So they will come with these plastic bags, and the inner packaging again is meant to be an homage to the toys. So this look is from the original toy line, the colors, the trapezoid shape. There is a DX on the top. This is a new thing that Super7 is doing, basically trying to price the Ultimate line figures at a lower price point. So these were, I think these were like $35 versus the normal $55, sometimes $65 for the Ultimates versions. They're going to end up having very few accessories, but that's what you're getting here. Nothing really special on the bottom but the Super7 logo. And then on the back, you get a little brief story, basically describing Power Rangers if you never So on the back, you get a brief story about the Power Rangers, in case you didn't know the lore or the background. And there's also a little Hasbro logo at the top. So we got Tommy, we got Jason, we got other Tommy, Pink Ranger, Yellow Ranger, and then the Black and Blue Ranger. All right, so let's get them out of the package. See what the inside looks like. So, get these out of the package. They've got this cardboard trapezoidal thing going on. And then you open it up and you get the figure. We'll go over the other figures, but another motif with this line is that all the figures have kind of this metallic paint on their main parts. And then again, you're going to get toy style weapons. So if you got the Ultimate lines, these also came as like a extra accessory, and for this product you only get the toy inspired accessories. Here is the Black Ranger. These are how his weapons are laid out. Here is the Red Ranger. He's got a blaster and a sword. Here is the Yellow Ranger. Here is the Blue Ranger. Here is the Pink Ranger. And last, the Green Ranger. All right, so that's the packaging. Let's take a look at the figures. Okay, here's everyone out of the package, and this is a lot of Power Rangers. The other big thing about this line is part of the toy references is that the original toys had these symbols on the chest, which is not something that they had in the show at all. So each one of them has tampoed on the symbols, which are basically the Megazord symbol for each of their Zords. Also, there is more simplified paint apps. We talked about the the weapons, but the belts, even though they still have the same sculpt, they just have a blotch of red where the emblem is. The morpher. Couldn't think of what that was called there for a moment. So every single one of them are like that. Also, the colored areas have a shiny paint, and they are painted. So the reason I bring it up, not only just to, describe these guys, but you might want to be careful about being aggressive with posing them and moving them, because moving the joints is going to scrape paint off. How durable the paint is, I don't know. I've moved a couple of them and it didn't seem too bad, but I don't think this is something that you're going to want to test. Like if you bought these and are like, okay, I'm going to do a bunch of, put them all kinds of crazy poses and get really intricate, don't be surprised if there's a lot of paint chipping because of it. I also would suggest, because of all the extra paint, even with other non-painted figures, maybe warm the joints up before you start moving them, because it's going to make a difference. And the joints tend to be tight on these anyway because the plastic is so thick. So to give an example, here is regular version White Ranger and toy version. The big difference you can see is the white versus the silver, the shiny silver. The gold on here is more of a brown color. And so those are going to be the main differences. Let's go ahead and remove him. And then another reference, we've got blue and blue. And I don't know if you can see this on camera, but this is a bit shinier. Obviously, the belt is simplified versus the regular edition. The weapon is larger, meant to be more toy inspired. It does split, which is nice. So you can take it apart, put it in two pieces on this guy. He's the only one who has kind of this feature in his weapon. So that'll give you an idea of, like, okay, what's the big difference between these two lines. All right, so let's take a closer look at the Blue Ranger. We've got the Triceratop logo. Black Ranger with the Mastodon. Really nice shiny paint. Yellow Ranger with the Sabretooth. I don't know if I mentioned this, but the weapons are painted also. The silver weapons are painted. The white weapons are not painted. Pink Ranger with the pterodactyl. Then Red Ranger. And then Green Ranger. He does still have the diamond pattern printed underneath his shield. And then White Ranger, which is kind of the Silver Ranger now. And the simplified Saba sword. So that is the review. I would say that if you don't have any Super 7 Mighty Morphin figures, these are good figures to get. Now, if you're big into, I want them to look as real and as legitimate as possible, maybe not. But just for the scale, to go with Super 7 G.I. Joe or any of the other lines, or even, DC stuff, because they're kind of the same scale. This is a good set of figures to pick up. You don't have to pay $60 for them, just $35 a piece. It's a good figure collection to get into. If you want, more realistic figures, you'll need to get the original Ultimates line, and you can probably still find those pretty easily. I know some of this stuff is still at retail, the later waves, and you can probably find stuff on aftermarket. But if you're into the nostalgia, if you had these when you were a kid, these are definitely cool because you can now have like better versions. The original versions were very weird. The proportions were weird. Definitely made for little kids, where these are kind of like made for adults or collectors, however you want to look at it. So this is your opportunity to kind of relive that. So that's the review. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you haven't done so, please like and subscribe and tune in to more videos coming up. Thank you.